Hello everyone and welcome to today's class, and the title today is Blackpink, Bombshell. Let's look at language focus. 1번. K-pop music agency YG got a shock recently following reports that 3 of Blackpink's 4 members did not plan to renew their contracts. I believe that was Jennie, Lisa, and also Jisoo as well. Okay, so let's have a look at our first language focus, and we're concentrating on following. Now, usually when you follow someone, it's like 다르다, right? Like you're physically either following them or you're doing the same as them, right? So in this situation, we use following to describe something that happened after and usually as a result of something. Now, what I'd like to try and teach you is that following kind of has several similar meanings to this example. So it can also mean due to in some ways, and the best way to describe that is probably 뭐뭐 때문에. All right, but that's also around the same as because. Now, it won't always be interchangeable. You have to understand that. Sometimes you can't interchange following and due to and following and because. I'll try and explain that a little bit more in depth. It's also meaning according to. All right. Now, this is like 따르면. So reporting on something, example. So I'm going to try and explain it through our first example here, which is Hector had to find a new job, following the downsizing at his company. So 헥터는 회사의 감원에 따라 새 직장을 구해야만 했다. So in this situation, we could probably interchange it with due to or because 때문에 or 회사 때문에. Right, Hector had to find a new job due to the downsizing of his company, because the downsizing at his company. You couldn't use according to, because according to means like information heard through someone else, but not fully confirmed in a way. But here's what you can use it with. Following the improvement of ties between the US and Vietnam, many American tourists have started visiting. So, 미국과 베트남의 관계 개선에 따른 많은 미국인 관광객들이 방문하기 시작했다. Now, according to the improvement of ties between the US and Vietnam, according to the US president, according to the Vietnam president, or something like that. Now, in reality, we don't know the relationship between two countries really. Some are supporting one country and say they also support the other, and vice versa. It's very, very difficult. Study international relations if that's what you're interested in. But yes, in this situation, you could say all three, actually, in this situation. But yes, you'll have to be very careful as to which one you use. And you need to be a little bit more in depth, as the lesson needs to be a little bit more in depth or much longer to know the exact differences when you use each. We'll move on to 2번. Blackpink not only followed in 21's, I really love 21's footsteps, but went on to become the top girl group in the world. So go on to is what we're going to do next. Past, went on to. So we used this to describe what somebody does after completing some action. So the way I would kind of describe it is more 하게 되다, to become something. To become, or also like 하기 시작하다, to start. Now, I think you could possibly... You can't use them the same as well. This is a very kind of hard class today. But as an example, Anders worked as an attorney for few years and then went on to become a politician. So Anders 몇 년간 변호사로 일하다가 정치인이 되었다. So Anders worked as an attorney for a few years, then went on to it says there, to become a politician, or went on to start becoming then started to be a politician, as an example. So go on to describe something that happens after another action. I guess as well you could probably use the word 하다가 as well, for going from one situation, and then 뭐뭐 하다가 moving on to a second situation as well. It's actually probably more so 하다가 rather than these two, but they do make sense as well. The second example is most college athletes do not go on to play their sports professionally. So, 대부분의 대학 운동 선수들은 그들의 운동을 전문적으로 하지 않는다. So usually there are a lot of college athletes, but there can only be so many professional athletes that certain teams or leagues around the world can take in. So most college athletes don't go on to play professionally. Alright, now let's move on to the language focus quiz. 1번. Had to make new plans following So remember, something that happened after. So you could use maybe due to, 뭐뭐 때문에, or in some cases you can use according to, 뭐 따르면, or because as an example. So let me show you my examples. Very simple. I had to make plans following the change in weather. So 날씨 변화에 따라 새로운 계획을 세워야 했어요. So I had to make new plans. Before I wanted to go out and have a picnic, but then I had to make new plans because it started raining. 2번. Following has become very popular. Let's say, following the movie Parasite, K content has become very popular. So 영화 기생충에 이어 K movie, K content 등등등 콘텐츠 큰 인기를 끌고 있다. Same with like example Squid Games. K-dramas became very big after Squid Games as well. They're always big, but like on an international level. 3번. Studied and then went on to become go on to. So 뭐뭐, like I said, 뭐뭐 하다가 to start something, to become something. Let's say Grace studied international relations and then went on to become one of the biggest news anchors in America. So Grace는 국제관계를 공부했고 그 후 미국에서 가장 큰 뉴스 앵커가 되었다. And 4번. One of my classmates went on to after graduation. Let's keep it simple. Own his own business. After graduation. 우리 반 친구 중 한 명이 후에 개인 사업을 시작했어요. Alright, now let's move on to the further discussion. 1번. What social issues would you like to see celebrities supporting? 영예인들이 어떤 사회적 대의를 지지하는 것을 보고 싶나요? I'd love to see celebrities pay more attention to mental health and destigmatize the way people look at mental health. Mental health is very important, and sadly, Korea has one of the highest mental health problems in the world, I believe. When it comes to suicides, I think we're at least top 5, or if not the first, if I remember correctly. So we need to understand that mental health is a serious problem, and I think that celebrities should bring light to this. 2번. Some people think that a 7-year contract with an entertainment company is too long. What is your opinion? 영예인기 회사와의 7년 계획을 너무 길다고 생각하는 사람들이 있는데 어떻게 생각하세요? Yeah, not just like in entertainment companies, but also for sports as well. There are a lot of athletes who also sign very long deals. I don't agree with this. I think it should be like capped at like 3 years, because 7 years, though you are guaranteed in some way to be within that company for that amount of time, it doesn't give you much room for increasing your salary, as an example. So let's say you start off small and you get really big. Then you should be making more money, of course. But there are times where that doesn't happen. Anyway, that wraps it up for today, and I'll see you on the next class.
Philanthropy.
Philanthropy.
Part ways.
Part ways.
Fall victim to something.
Fall victim to something.
Encouraging.
Encouraging.
Wrap up.
Wrap up.
Rave review.
Rave review.